What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and today I'm back to talk about Warhammer 40K. Once again, we are continuing the Tau videos for September, as today we dive into Shadowsun being tempted by Khorne. Yes, this is legit. This isn't like fan-made. This is 100% official GW stuff, and it's so wild to me that the Tau, who are known to be ranged shooters, not melee experts, are actually being tempted by none other than Khorne, the god of blood, skulls, and melee combat. Khorne overall has been tempting Farsight for a long time, whether you know it or not. In the recent arcs of Omen, we see that Farsight is seeing these visions of Chaos Tau in the future, visions of what he could become, visions of an enslaved society, and Khorne is using his champion, Farsight, to usher in these demonic times. So that's been really awesome. But apparently another Tau commander, that of Shadowsun, is also being tempted by Khorne. This is pretty interesting stuff, especially with the new revelation that the Tau have actually manifested a god, the Tauva, a god of the greater good, an ethereal-like manifestation in the warp with like 8 hands, each hand representing the auxiliaries of the Tau Empire. So perhaps we are seeing an inkling, the beginnings of the Tauva versus the Chaos Gods, and Shadowsun could ally with Khorne or the Tauva, or perhaps Farsight will ally with Khorne or the Tauva, but I think they will be going at odds. So probably Farsight will fall to the temptations of Khorne, and Shadowsun will uplift the Tauva, and we'll see another confrontation between these two commanders. That's just my thoughts, but again guys, let's go ahead and dive into this excerpt from none other than the Blood Oath novel, where Shadowsun hears the call of Khorne. The yield capacitors of Shadowsun's fusion blasters blipped gold. She dropped down from the flickering skies towards the column of boxy Imperial vehicles and triggered another weapon shot. Twin beams of destructive energy spearing down vertically. She hit one of the lumpen things full on, an olive-hued tank that was little more than a mobile box filled with Gwaylaw troopers. The transport exploded with a satisfying thump, and its passengers spilled out, grabbing for rebreathers or rolling out on the fires that clung to their disgusting porcelain flesh. Yelling in defiance, the gunners and the cupolas of the other transports pivoted their pinto-mounted weapons towards the source of this killing shot. Shadowsun swung her hips back and her chest forward, her battlesuit smoothly boosting away from the chattering streams of slugs sent in her direction. Even a raw recruit could have avoided the ill-timed volley fired by the human soldiers, and her stealth cells made her all but invisible against the flickering clouds above. Such poor warriors did not deserve to face the might of the XV-104. As if to prove her point, Dry's team came alongside her, leveling their burst cannons and tearing apart the cupola gunners in a storm of blood and plasma. This really is too easy, thought Shadowsun. There was little honor in shooting a fleeing foe, especially one as dull of wit as the Imperial Guard. Even their name was ridiculous. She was almost regretting ordering the Riptides to engage the Gwayron instead of tackling them herself. Still, she was reminded that Aunva had other duties in mind for her. Kill. Kill them all. Bathe in their blood. This voice pounded in her head. Shadowsun felt a hot prickle of unease cross her skin. She could have sworn she had turned the autotrans off when she was muttering the cadra in the cloud cover to prevent unnecessary distractions. Counter-strike cadres, she transmitted, her tones clipped and sure. Neutralize as many of these transports as possible. First strike. I want that wall breached immediately. Approach on appended vectors. Riptides at the fore. Full Nova. Then Sentinel protocols. Use the drone net to high-yield footage. Sky Strike Cadra, you Riptides have the honor of being the first inside. Prepare me a path. The ascent symbols of the Riptide wings flash gold, their size and unfamiliarity filling Shadowsun with quiet pride. To have such warriors at her command, to be the first in the Empire to wield them as her blade. It was an honor beyond measure. Yes, kill. Send them to their graves, the voice said again. Ahead of her, the riptide she had claimed for her first strike Hadra dropped out of the clouds above the hive's wall. Their Nova reactors thrummed to a crescendo as they hovered to a halt in front of the gate's towers. Suddenly, blue-white spheres shot from their energy cannons, hitting home with such force that they chewed a wide breach in the eagle-emblazoned gate. The walls around the opening were riven by a web of cracks, tumbling rubble carrying those Imperial Guardsmen that had been manning the gate's battlements to a rocky demise. The XV-104s had blasted open the human fortress in a single devastating salvo. Behind the breach, the hive's sprawling innards were laid bare. An iron-grated perimeter met a cliff wall of pipes and platforms across which hundreds of ant-like citizens scurried, desperate to escape. Imperial Guard troops pushed their way through the teeming hivers to take up positions on landing pads and crenulated defense stations. Adelson flew in close to the hive's outer wall, blasting the face from a statue of an Imperial saint as she passed by. The paired riptides that had ripped open the city's wall bracketed her like armored giants escorting an airborne goddess. Behind her, the three surviving riptides that had mauled their Guayron tanks hovered towards the breach at speed, boosting over the postern gate on contrails of blue flame. They unleashed a hail of heavy burst cannon fire as they came back down in perimeter streets, splayed metal feet landing with a rockcrete shattering crunch. So many corpses. The Autotrans scrolled, its whisper waveform jerking peaks and troughs. What could this be, she thought. And that was the excerpt from none other than Blood Oath. So it's really interesting to me that Khorne keeps tempting the commanders of the Tau Empire. And it seems that maybe in the far future we might get models for Chaos Tau? Doubtful. One of the things that I don't really like about the Tau that GW have been doing is that they keep making them almost like a mirror to the Imperium. We keep seeing them gain this artificial intelligence to the point of that they're almost gaining sentience. And that's what happened to humanity, and that's what led to the machine revolt and led them to become this like stagnant state of technology that they currently are in. So is this also going to befall the Tau Empire? Just like how Chaos tempted the humans, now Chaos is tempting, these warriors of the Tau. And I don't know, it's like, as much as I want to see Chaos taint the Tau to see what could be, I think that's something that should not happen. But again, it would be pretty cool to see Chaos Farsight against the goddess of the Tau, Shadow Sun, and a battle between these two warriors, these two friends, and maybe the one deciding factor is none other than the third commander, Commander Kais from the Fire Warrior game. That'd be pretty interesting. But again, it's all just the thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, whether you like the Tau being tempted by Chaos, or should they just embrace Chaos. But for now, that's all I got for today. Stay subscribed for more Tau-themed videos in September, and stay tuned for Orktober next month. Keep on liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and as always, it's been the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Always used to put my freedom first in any situation. I knew I never had that much to lose.